What's up, guys? Welcome to the Skeleton Closet, where we talk celebrity news and hot topics. And today we have to get into a couple things because I know I've been slacking just a little bit. I had to celebrate a friend's birthday and I wasn't in town. But now that we're back, we can get all caught up. On today's video, we have to talk about this Meghan and Harry interview that will be airing tonight on CBS. I know I'll be glued to my TVs, but we have to get into what they'll be talking about and all the other drama that's unfolded since the announcing of this interview. So not only that, Nicki Minaj and her husband, Kenneth Petty, got some questionable things going on. So we got to get into that as well. But to wrap it all up, we got to get into our Bachelor Nation drama as well, because y'all know it is my current obsession and I am obsessed with all the tea that comes with Bachelor Nation. So let's get into the video.
I'm gonna just run down my shout outs. The dun.
All right, so first things first, we have to get into this interview that is airing with Oprah, Meghan, and Harry tonight on CBS. I don't know about y'all, but anytime the royals come up and there's some tea that needs to be spilled, I am one of the first people in line to sip. Listen, I understand that they live a lifestyle that is very posh and elegant, but this story is just like any other family story. They have drama, they got tea, and they got some skeletons in the closet. And this is gonna be an interview that uncovers all of that. The royal family is strictly a business that is run on public opinion. They are working overtime to make sure that this interview by Meghan and Harry doesn't make them look bad. Because if it makes them look bad, it hurts their pockets. Now, the people in America don't have the luxury of having a royal family. But if we did, we would not be paying for it, okay? One thing I can say about Americans is that they don't like putting money in other people's pockets, okay? Unless we're speaking of times of need. Like now, when people are dying because they're hungry or because they're sick and they don't have access to health care or food and things like that, you know, we wouldn't be paying for people to live frivolously, you know, to just be. But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about today. What we're talking about today is this interview and how the crown, the royal family, or the firm, like Meghan calls it, is trying to destroy their lives. Now that might be a little dramatic. I wouldn't say destroying their lives, more so trying to make them look bad. And we can see this as them releasing all this information about Meghan reportedly bullying her staff members or her royal aides, saying that she reportedly undermined a third employee, a third staff member, but also had been sending early morning emails. Now that's just petty. So basically this is just another story of them trying to make or to perpetuate this old, tired, drawn out story of the angry black woman trying to make white people cry with her fury. Now the firm is this mega corporation that is trying to make sure that their PR image is crystal clean. All right. They are trying to make sure that they have no spots on the record, because now is not the time for them to have to fight this fight. Okay, especially in a time where people are dying. Okay, people need monies in their pockets. Okay, they need coins in their bank account. America isn't the only country that's suffering. All right, this is a global pandemic. This is happening all over the world. People are dying, people are sick, and people don't have adequate access to health care. Yet the royal family is living posh in their mansions, in their palaces, and their subjects are hurting. So this is another fight that they're going to have to fight, and one that they cannot afford to lose, because there is money to be made, reputations to upheld, and narratives to be spun at every single opportunity. But, you know, just take a look at them not having anything to say when it comes to Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew is the man that was connected to Jeffrey Epstein and allegedly trafficking underage girls on Jeffrey Epstein's private island and private jet. Yeah, so get into that. Make sure you hit that Google up and Google search Prince Andrew allegations. You'll see it all there if you don't want to take my word for it, okay? But there are definitely some questionable things that's going on in the royal family that they need to be focused on more than Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's interview and trying to make Meghan look bad. And you know what? They are clearly threatened by her. I'm not quite sure what it is. Maybe it's the fact that she is different from them. And yes, I mean her skin color. Or maybe it's because they feel like she is disruptive because she challenges the norms to them. The norms to them are age old. But it's clear that the Crown has the most to lose by this interview. Meghan and Harry have already been, if you will, exiled to California. They'll probably never go back to Buckingham Palace. I'm not even sure if Harry even communicates with the family. So that's the lay of the land on the royalty. And I'll be watching the interview tonight. I don't know about y'all, but I'll definitely be tuned in. I gotta run to the store and get some wine. I got some popcorn, and I'll definitely be enjoying every single minute of it. All right, so moving on from the royalty, we have to get into some more royalty. The queen, not that queen, but this queen, Nicki Minaj, and her husband, Kenneth Petty. Y'all, Nicki Minaj is the greatest female rapper of all time. I'm gonna say it 100%. That's not a lie, that is a fact. Her influence cannot be denied, all right? The very first Nicki Minaj song that I heard was none other than I Was on the Plane with the Wayne. You all know that song, Itty Bitty P, all right? That is the first Nicki Minaj song that I had ever heard, and I fell in love instantly. Her bars, her lyricism, the metaphors, like, girl has a gift. Nicki Minaj has a gift, all right? But this makes no sense. This makes no sense. I don't understand it. Sis, what are you doing? What's going on? If this is true. All right. So allegedly, you know what? I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Let's go back. So if you aren't aware, Kenneth Petty was accused and convicted of raping a 16-year-old girl when he was 16 as well. It is said that he forced himself on her with a knife. Now, Kenneth Petty was convicted of this. He served time for this. He has to register as a sex offender in every state if he were to move to every state. Now, this came up when they moved to California. When he moved to California, he did not register as a sex offender. Now, I'm sure everyone is aware that when you move to a different state, if you are a sex offender, if you've been convicted of that crime, you have to register as a sex offender in that state. Now, when he moved to California, almost a year to the date last year, he did not do that. He was pulled over. He was pulled over for a traffic violation. And the police officers realized that he was not registered as a sex offender in that state. Now, he was charged with that. He had to then register as a sex offender in the state, and therefore the charges were dropped. Now, the LAPD did say that if you do not abide by this law again, you will serve up to 10 years in prison. That is the maximum for the felony charge. Now, we all know this. We all know that the man is a sex offender. But it's now being alleged that Nicki Minaj and her husband, Kenneth Petty, are trying to pay off the woman that he raped, allegedly. I don't even know if I should be saying allegedly anymore because he was convicted. He was convicted. He has done time that he has served. Now it is being reported that they're trying to pay off this woman to recant her story. Now y'all might be like, what does this even have to do? What is the big deal if they were trying to get her to pay it off? Why is that a problem? First of all, it's a problem because you should never want to silence a victim. Okay, that's number one. Whether or not you have served your time or not, that woman still has to live with the pain of you traumatizing her and telling her to be quiet about it. It's never okay. Secondly, Nicki Minaj, you have a legacy and an empire to uphold. Baby girl, you should have dumped that man when he got out of prison. Granted, it's okay to have like a little pen pal, somebody to talk on the phone with, if that's what y'all were doing. But girl, you are a mega star. There's no way that you thought that nobody was gonna find out that he was a sex offender. You had to know this, sis. You had to know this. So you not only decided to marry the man, you now have a baby with the man. So he's in your life forever. The least you could do is not have anything to do with his past offenses of sexual assault. Now, this is all alleged, all right? The girl says in the report that she has moved twice. She has a 22-year-old daughter that she had to move away from, cut ties with because she feared for her life. She didn't know if anything was going to happen to her because they were harassing her. And she is saying that these threats is coming directly from the camp of Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty. So now there is an investigation going on of the Pettys. Yes, Nicki, Onika Mirage Petty and Kenneth Petty are now under investigation by the U.S. Marshals for this activity. Jennifer, as well as a source most familiar with the case and what's going on, says that the U.S. Marshals are investigating this and it is a high priority investigation. You know what? I'm sure it is because Nicki Minaj is involved and she is one of the biggest rappers of all time. They're going to want to get to the bottom of it. So we'll definitely have to see what comes out of that investigation, what happens, whether or not Nicki Minaj had her hands on this, if her hands are dirty in this activity, which God, I hope is not, because up to this point, Nicki Minaj has gotten everything. Well, even up to this point, Nicki Minaj has gotten everything that she has asked for, besides the drama. She's asked for a baby, she's asked to be married, and she's asked for a protecting husband, all right? This is everything that she wanted, she's gotten. But is it all worth the cost of your career? But not only that, your legacy and your mental health, because I can only imagine what type of mental mind bending that she's going through right now, dealing with postpartum. Okay, she just had a baby. The stresses of trying to continue your career. But now your husband is dealing with this and they're saying that you were part of it. Yeah, girl. I'm gonna keep you in my prayers because that is way too much for anybody to handle. But also, God don't give you nothing that you can't handle. I'm still looking forward to hearing the album. I hope she releases something pretty soon because the inner Barb in me is starving. All right, I'm ready for another album. I need to be able to recite some new Nicki Minaj bars. All right, so we'll just have to wait and see what goes on with this investigation. Hopefully, it's nothing too bad for the queen, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now moving on to some more drama. All right, this might be the last chapter of the Bachelor Nation drama with Chris Harrison. All right, so if you did not see earlier this week, Chris Harrison appeared on GMA to talk about the drama that he was a part of when it came to the drama with Rachel Kirkconnell and her racist past. Now, Chris Harrison appeared on GMA this past weekend and talked about how he was sorry and realized his fault in not acknowledging what Rachel Lindsay had said about the situation and how he kind of put his foot in his mouth when he could have just been quiet, all right, and listened, sat there and just listened as a white man when a black woman is trying to tell you about her experiences as a black woman. Now, he went on GMA, talked to Michael Strahan, which is another point that we got to get to. Talked to Michael Strahan and acknowledged what he did was wrong, but also apologized and says that he looks forward to rejoining The Bachelor next season. All right, so you remember when I said Michael Strahan potentially could be replacing him? We don't know that. ABC hasn't admitted to that. They haven't issued any statement yet. But we do know Emmanuel Acho will be hosting the final rose ceremony that airs March 15th. Be sure to tune in because I will be, because I got to see who wins, all right? But we know that he'll be hosting. Rachel Lindsay says that he's the man for the job. She said that on her podcast. So will he be replacing him? Will Chris Harrison come back? Will Michael Strahan be the host? Or will there be a completely different host? All of that, we don't know. I think it'll be good for the franchise for them to switch it up. Maybe they can add another man as a host. Maybe they can add a woman to the host, particularly a black woman, because we all know that they have a problem with diversity, all right? They are definitely on the lower end of being diverse as a franchise. So we just have to wait and see what the franchise decides to do as far as Chris Harrison and his future, but also the future of Bachelor Nation. But yeah, we'll have to tune in and see what all happens with that. And I'll be sure to check in with you guys tomorrow because we have the recap of the interview that airs tonight of Meghan and Harry. Cannot wait. we'll definitely talk about it tomorrow and I'll upload a video. But until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Oh, but I almost forgot. Be sure to hit that like button, but also hit that subscribe button so that you can join us in the closet and be a part of the fam. I love having more people here with us. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.